Commission meetings. In consideration of others and the business conducted tonight, please silence your phones and any electronic devices and refrain from speaking unless recognized. If you are in attendance and wish to speak during public comment and/or public comment and/or public hearing. Again, this is a public meeting for the community of Glendora. We appreciate and respect your participation here this evening. We'll move on to roll call and let the record reflect that Commissioner Koss is absent. Commissioners Faber, Cremens, Davis, and Jarvie are present. And we'll now move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Does anyone wish to reorder or add to the agenda this evening? Seeing as none, we'll move on, right? To the public comment period. We'll go ahead and open that up and invite members to the public to address the legislative body. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, speaking once on both on and off agenda items. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of the public comment period. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name and the subject matter you wish to discuss. Do we have any public comment cards?
I do not have none.
Okay. Have we received any correspondence?
We have not.
Okay. We will go ahead and close the public comment period and move on to member statements and reports. Commissioners, does anybody have anything to report? I'd like to invite Community Development Director Jeff Kugel to report.
Sure, just quickly wanted to introduce a new staff member, or a new old staff member. Sean McPherson is returning to the city as the Assistant Director of Community Development, and his first day was last week on the 29th. So, Sean, have a few seconds to introduce yourself. I don't know if any of the commissioners worked with Sean when he was here last. But
yeah, thanks. Thank you, Jeff, and Chair and Commissioners, thank you very much. I was here previously with the City of Glendora for about 9 years, and then I most recently spent a few years in the City of Rancho Cucamonga. Beyond that, I also grew up here in Glendora, so most days it feels like I've worked here a lot longer than I actually have. So Glendora is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to come back, and I look forward to working with you all. Thank you very much. It was 2010 to 2019.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, now we will ask Assistant. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
then real quickly, I wanted to have City Planner Mark Carnahan give an update on some of the things that are going on within the Planning Division as well.
Do you want to do that now or the closing?
Go ahead and do it now.
Okay. Just a quick update for a couple items that we're kind of working on. The main thing is this is report season for the planners. A lot of the state reports, they give you the instructions of what to do and what numbers they're wanting. They're usually the first week of January, and the first the first report they gave us 2 weeks to do it all, and so we had to give a whole bunch of housing, kind of over big picture housing numbers and permit numbers in 2 weeks. So we're going to start that real quickly. And then they're going to be probably the next week or so giving us the instructions for the big one that you guys see that will be coming to you probably in March. And that's the one where we're kind of do it by permit numbers. We'll give you the whole general plan update in terms of the housing element implementation measures, as well as all the report numbers that we come up for the last year for numbers. So that usually comes to you in March. And then we also present that also to City Council. So that takes quite a lot of staff time to generate all those numbers. So those will be what we're working on the next few weeks. Regarding projects, I just want to kind of say that there's 3 projects that are kind of, I would say, on the horizon for the next Planning Commission meetings. Not the next one, probably the next few months. The project in Vermont, which is the Warmington project, which we kind of kind of adjacent to the Metro Rail station. That's the 86 attached three-story condos. That's working its way, getting closer. The Enola and Route 66 project, which is the 1706 East Route 66, that one is also getting really close to coming to you, and that's the 28 detached two-story condos. And then a little bit further behind that is probably the Sunflower and Gladstone project, which is the 80 attached and detached two-story condos. So those will be kind of probably on the horizon. Most of those will be coming to you probably in early spring. Then under construction of note projects, I'd say we have the 1201 East Arrow Highway, which is the Vandale project. That's starting. You probably the Brandywine project on 723 East Route 66 is far more apparent. You've probably been driving by and seeing those. They got one building already pretty much done, and then they got the second ones and third ones started as well. And that's the 39 attached three-story condos. If you've driven by the freeway and by kind of where Sunflower is and where Bonnie Cove is, you'll see them from the freeway wall's up now for that development. And if you're going down towards the entrance to the park, you'll notice the slope has all been graded now, and they got the street in, and they got all the terrace lots already there. They're going to be doing that, and the Monte Vista Homes is doing all the grading part of it, and they got it entitled, and they're selling the actual project to Taylor Morrison, who's going to be doing all the stick construction. That's 30 two-story detached homes. Yeah. And then we have a couple of small projects of note. There's four apartments on Bonnie Cove. There's 4 apartments on Lemon. And then we have the 3 apartments right across the street here on the 131 East Foothill site, which actually are looking really good if you have a chance to see them. I really like how that one was working out. It's kind of a transition between the historical building and their past project. It kind of blends the two architectural styles. Institutional-wise, of note, there's the Eminent Health. They're doing the major tenant improvement to the existing building on Carroll, as well as the hospital at 150 East Route 66. I think I brought this up before. It didn't involve any city approvals because it all goes through the state, but they are remodeling the remaining portions of that building to be an inpatient psychiatric care hospital. And so it's going from a 90-bed to a 154-bed facility. So that's all happening, and that construction is also happening right now. Then soon to be under construction, I think you'll start to see some stuff where Route 66 and Parker is, which is by it's on the corner. It's by the Wiener Schnitzel. That area you'll see that going on. There's an 8-unit residential project there, 3 stories with a small commercial building. They started grading. They did the grading. The rough grading's done. You'll see some holes and things in there. They're going to start. They actually got issued permits right before Christmas to start the major work there. And then the city's project at San Jose and Woodland, the city has officially sold the property to the developer Olson, adjacent to the yard, yes. So that's the latest, is the city's sale officially of the property. Though that project's plans are in entitlement phase, being reviewed right now. And then also down the road, let's see, 363 West Route 66, so I'd say going back close to that Parker project. The mortuary site, that one's getting closer for demolition. And that project is also in review.
Have they done anything with that monument yet, do you know?
No, they'll do that removal when they do the demolition. And they've told me that they know for a fact that that's a big thing, and that'll be the very first thing they do as part of the demo. And they actually have also worked out and established contact with that group for its donation. And then on Arrow Highway, the 531 East Arrow, that's the 33 attached condos. That's also getting close for construction, as well as, let's see. Also kind of a sign is the 2244 East Route 66. That's an existing building. That was the Frozen Ropes building by Amelia. That one's getting, some of their permits are ready and are issued, and the majority of the ones are still kind of being worked a bit close for the conversion of that into offices for accountants for Eminent Health. The whole big accounting office, which would be good for employment for the city. So that's sort of the happenings in the department. It's kind of a slow kind of process for you guys lately with regards to tentative agendas in the next couple of months. but I kind of want you to know we are working on stuff, and then there's some other stuff on the horizon, so. Yeah, we do. Yeah,
For a small city, that's
yeah.
still projects.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Anything else, Jeff? Okay, thank you. So now we'll ask Assistant City Attorney Jessica Santiago if she has anything to report.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Happy New Year. I hope everyone enjoyed the holiday season. I unfortunately started the year a little under the weather and was not able to join tonight's meeting in person. I did have some legislative updates to share tonight, but if it's permissible, I would like to request if I could continue my presentation or to present in person for the next meeting. Thank you.
Do we have any objection? Okay, so we'll table it to the next meeting.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Move on to item number 3, which will be a resolution of the Planning Commission approving a conditional use permit to allow for the replacement of an existing emergency backup generator with a new emergency backup generator with a maximum capacity of 316 gallons of hazardous materials located at 1794 South Branca Avenue. This is file number PLN 25-5028. And we'd like to declare the public hearing open and invite planning technician Irvin Adolfo to report, please.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the commission. Happy New Year as well. Hope you guys enjoyed your holidays. We received a planning application from the applicant on behalf of the property owner requesting approval of a conditional use permit. It's to adopt a categorical exemption as well as a resolution to replace the existing emergency backup generator. The project is located at 1794 South Branca Avenue. It is at a Glendora Digestive Disease Institute. The subject property is located at the north side of Arrow Highway and Bonita Avenue. The new generator will be installed at that same location where the existing generator is at the southeast corner of the property, adjacent to the medical facility that is within that existing commercial parking area. The site is also designated as an Arrow Highway specific plan, C-C3 corridor commercial under the Glendora Commercial General Plan. The proposed project is an existing emergency backup generator that will support the medical facility during power outages. The larger generator is being proposed due to the existing model, since this size is no longer available by the manufacturer. A section of the curb will be modified to make room for the new generator pad. There are also no changes to the existing landscape within that surrounding area. This existing generator predates any permits of or CUP requirements, so therefore no permits or CUPs were obtained at that time. The applicant has agreed upon and submitted at risk to building plan review contingent upon the conditional use permit. The applicant has also obtained and provided a written approval from LA County Fire Department as part of the conditions of this approval. Excuse me. If approved, the initial testing will be conducted by the applicant, and any future testing and regular inspections will be discussed in agreement with all necessary parties once the generator has been installed. Notice of public hearing was sent out and mailed to all property owners within the 300 feet of the subject property on December 19th, 2025, and a notice of the public hearing was published in the San Gabriel Valley Examiner on December 25, 2025. Staff recommends CEQA in coordination with the California Environmental Quality Act, as well as recommended approval for the conditional use permit to allow replacement of the existing emergency backup generator with the capacity of 316 gallons of hazardous materials. Mr. Alan Sace from Amtech Construction is here as a representative for the applicant and property owner. We are here and available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Irvin. And now I'd like to invite the applicant, Mr. Alan Sace, up to present. You have up to 10 minutes. Good evening.
Hi there. My name is Alan Sace. I'm the CEO, project manager for Amtech Construction. And so basically this project is all about the existing generator no longer meets AQMD standards. Therefore, it has to be replaced. Back then, AQMD standards were much different. They had the smaller generator. This generator is different because in order to meet AQMD standards, it can no longer be made of that size, has to be slightly bigger. And the reason that this all started is because as a medical facility, they cannot operate without, they cannot actually open their doors without having a backup generator that is actually commissioned and functioning by AQMD. Because if a power outage happens, they have to literally stop or finish their current, whoever they're seeing, then send everybody home and move on. They cannot operate, they cannot function on anybody while, or see anybody while generator power is flowing. So basically what we're going to be doing is I have to set up a temporary generator. I have to hook that up to the back, to the main panel. I have to remove the old generator. I have to modify the pad, modify the curb, set the new generator, and be ready to go. This would be a quick turnaround project because this generator has actually already been ordered. It is sitting in a storage facility currently because that just so happened that this was the one project in a million that had the generator show up early. And yes, this will be a quick turnaround type project. The generator is a Bay City or a Kohler generator. And the reason that it is that manufacturer is because the ATS, which is the automatic transfer switch, which is the brain that will signify, will tell it to switch over to emergency power, is also a Kohler. And, I've gone through this project multiple times. I was the original one who walked it. I'm the one who knows all about it. We're, we have, like I said, we have to modify the curb ever so slightly to come out to, in order to extend the pad to accommodate the slightly larger generator. As far as the testing and commissioning, like Irvin said, we will be doing the initial testing and startup and commissioning of the generator. And after that, since I am not a generator maintenance company, then it gets turned over to the owner, and then whatever agreement that they have, that's a different situation. But I will fill it, fuel it, commission it, and I'll have it all ready to go at that point. It's literally, this is a quick turnaround type project. I'll be done very shortly with this project, especially since it's sitting in a storage facility costing me money every month. I will have it in and out, lickety split. If you tell me, if you give me the go ahead, I will have it on site next week. But I have, like I said, like Irvin mentioned, we've got it all approved by the LA County Fire Department. We went through all of that. We went through every sort of change that we needed to do. And yes, it's actually quite interesting because this particular project, the owner is out of state because they're like a national chain. So they didn't quite understand, like, well, why do you have to go to board? Why do you have to do this? I'm like, okay, well, you may not have to do that in Tennessee, but that's not what happens in California. So, if you guys have any other questions, I'm free to answer anything else you have.
Great, thank you. At this point, we will open public testimony, invite members of the public. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, speaking only on this agenda item. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of the public testimony period. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name and the subject matter you wish to discuss. Do we have any public comment cards here this evening?
We do not.
Do not. And have we received any correspondence?
Not for me.
Okay. We will go ahead and close the public testimony portion of the public hearing. And invite the applicant, Mr. Alan Sace, to provide summarization and closing remarks if desired, but not necessary, not to exceed 5 minutes. I don't think,
Sure, I'll say something again. Basically, this is a fairly simple project. It would have been a like for like if the old generator was built to the same standards that we currently have. And nothing internally has changed, just the generator size has to be slightly bigger. It's the smallest generator that I could get in order to back up the amperage required to back up that particular building.
If it were like for like, you wouldn't be here.
Correct. Correct. If it was like for like, I wouldn't have to be here. But since back then in 2000 or whatever, you know, it didn't have the same requirements. It's slightly bigger now, so hence the reason why I had to change the plan and I had to do all that. But again, like I said, this is going to be a quick turnaround project once it gets approved. Yeah, I've been working on this project for a very long time, so I am very happy to get the generator out there.
good, thank you. Once
No
again,
problem.
we can go ahead and close the public hearing and open things up for discussion and deliberation if needed. Mr. Faber,
No comments.
Mr. Davis.
Just a couple of quick questions. This is diesel? Yes. Above ground or below ground storage? Above ground. Above ground. Is it still hazardous waste, considered hazardous waste if it's in ground? Okay. What's the testing requirement for a generator? Not initial testing, but don't they have to be certified once a year or something? Or don't they have to start them up once a year to certify them or something?
It actually all depends on the governing body, meaning you, as to what your requirements are. Because I've done this many different times, and depending on the actual usage, and I can tell you that the existing generators there was used minimal, because every generator is measured in the hours of operation. This generator had very few hours of operation. It literally was there in order for them to conduct work. So the reason I say that is because if you, let's say that you enter into agreement, or you tell I think they're called, or off the top of my head, they're the Digestive Clinic of Glendora, the Digestive Surgery Clinic of Glendora, right? So let's say you tell them that you want it certified every 6 months. Well, then they'll have to have somebody come out with a load bank test and certify that every 6 months.
What was the requirement for the previous?
For the previous one, I don't believe there was any requirement because of the fact that it predates anything that was actually required back then.
Do we have any standards on the books?
I believe so. With generators, and it's really because of the storage of the hazardous material. I believe LA County Fire does the annual inspections typically.
So then it's an annual inspection, so it's once a year.
Yeah, so and it usually involves, you going out, you have to start it up, make
Right.
sure it's running properly.
So you have to run the load bank test, you have to burn off anything inside the DPF, you have to do all that, which is something that
More than I know about.
Which is something that I
generators.
wouldn't do. I'm responsible for, I'm gonna install it, I'm gonna hook it up, I'm gonna connect it, and I'm gonna commission it, and I'm gonna get everything up and running. And then from there, then I literally hand it over to the owner, and then the owner can enter into whatever agreement from there with you or whoever, Duffy, whatever other contractor that wants to do it, because I don't have the means and methods in order to do the load bank testing on an active generator like that.
Just to clarify, the condition number 10 actually states the applicant must conduct monthly testing of the generator, and it shall be limited to occurrence between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Testing of the generator shall not occur outside these hours.
And I'll just say something too. At least in our situation, our organization, I believe AQMD is the one who monitors that, and they send letters out and they ask you to run it for an hour a month or whatever it is, and they're the ones who are monitoring that, not a city. At least in our situation, at my place of business.
That's probably correct. I think the planning, you may wonder why in the world is the Planning Commission, which is a zoning review body, even looking at a generator. As far as I know, that provision of the code has been as part of the municipal code since the early 90s. Because you can see this is largely an AQMD issue because of the emissions and then a fire safety issue. I suspect that it has to do with, because many of the commercial areas are close to residential areas, that at some point the city felt, because you do have to test them monthly, that at some point the city felt that, well, maybe there's some overlapping community issues that where planning should get involved to ensure that they're not testing them in the middle of the night, or maybe the location wasn't appropriate for the area relative to maybe some residential nearby. So I suspect that that's the reason that this became a conditional use permit at some point in
Jeff,
the 80s or 90s.
just to clarify, the generator's not the CP, it's the hazardous materials.
It's the hazardous material, yeah. It's what the code says. It's not the generator in particular. It says if when you're storing over 55 gallons of liquid material, I think it's like there's gas. It's like
Yeah.
75 cubic yards or something like that.
Yeah.
So I suspect that it was at some point perceived as a potential, neighborhood or issue for planning. I'm not sure how, but
Right.
typically when we see these types of conditional use permits over the years, it's been for a generator. I don't think we've processed anything for hazardous materials other than a generator since I've been here.
Yeah, I think once a month is way too much to test, honestly.
I would agree.
Once a quarter would be fine for me.
I think it'd be based on LA County, AQMD, or manufacturer's recommendations.
The manufacturer, will tell you right now, will tell you that they'll test
a
it
year.
whenever you want them to. All the manufacturers, every single one of them will not give you a definitive answer as far as that goes. They'll say whatever the entity wants, we'll do, or whatever the entity wants, you can test it. That's what they'll say. I mean, Cummins, Kohler, Generac, any of them. I've installed them all. Every single one of them will say the same thing. In this particular situation, like I said, since it's a slightly bigger generator, slightly more fuel, has 316-gallon tank, which is actually this is actually a small generator in my experience. I installed a generator a couple months ago that had 1,500 gallons of fuel in it. So this is a small generator.
Probably still $1 million.
No, this generator is not $1 million.
If you wanted to maybe consider revising the condition that was drafted to strike out monthly to say regular or something like that.
Regular and defer to AQMD recommendation? Or can we just do it quarterly?
I have actually already filed and all of the AQMD permits all approved and everything like that already, because I have to do that as the actual installation body.
I'm thinking of the neighbors more than anything, just to, why once a month? I mean, nothing's,
Or just take out the time to say they must do to regular testing.
I do think AQMD, they put that in there for monthly. I think the monthly, whether or not it's good or not, it's good. It's the waste, right? So the thing is about a generator is if it runs or if you never look at it for 3 months, but it's leaking 316 gallons of diesel in its pit for 3 months versus a month, that's not good.
well, that's part
So
of why I
that's
asked if it was above ground or,
Well, they're still going to leak in a pit
well,
that runs
inspection
off
versus
fuel.
testing and running are two different things.
That's how they maintenance them. They start them up for the hour or whatever but I don't know. Yeah.
You could say monthly inspections or testing.
I'm fine with that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mr. Jarvie?
Thank you. Does the unit come with tamper-proof locks? Do you know?
On the, like padlocks on the outside?
Well, more of a manufacturer-provided lock rather than an aftermarket lock. Does it come with locks that somebody wouldn't be able to get in and access?
I mean, it does come with locks on it that there are keyed locks in order to get into the gear. It is in an enclosure. It is in, I don't know the exact rating of the enclosure off the top of my head, but it is in an enclosure. There are actual handles that you have to open up, and like you have to actually put in a key to open it all up and everything like that in order to get into the unit itself. But yes, there are, when you say that there's locks, like aftermarket locks, like is this bulletproof that nobody can hack into and get into? No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that there is locks on the outside of it with a key that I will turn over to the owner when it's all said and done.
Okay. So I'm looking more for deterrence, but that works. The other question I had was, did you say that it's automated, so it'll kick on automatically? The owner doesn't have to initiate it?
Correct. So this system has an ATS, which is an automatic transfer switch. So inside the building, there is, basically what happens is that you break the circuit that feeds the main circuit breaker for the building. And so inside that, imagine a brain inside it. And so basically you have normal power that runs through, and you have emergency power that as soon as it hits and realizes that, okay, normal power is off, it'll kick over to emergency power, and then it'll fire up the generator. So over to the generator, there is control wires, there's mainline wires. But yes, inside the electrical room, which is maybe less than 15 feet from where this generator is, there is the ATS, which is located inside the building, which is actually, or inside the electrical room, which is right on the outermost edge of the building.
Okay, so if there was a fail in that initiation, the owner, would they get an alert, or is there a monitoring system?
So this generator does come with what they call an annunciator, and the annunciator is installed wherever, most of the time they tell me wherever they want to install it. Sometimes I install it in the manager's office, sometimes I install it wherever. And basically they can go through the system, press a button. If there's an alert, it may say that the fuel is low, it may say whatever. But let's say that there's a power outage and it does not kick on, which if that happens, there's a bigger issue because your ATS didn't actually kick over. The annunciator would say, okay, initiated trying to kick over to the ATS, generator did not fire, you have a problem with that sort of situation. There isn't, it's basically, it's almost the size of this tablet, and it ends up getting mounted on the wall. And it has a data cable going back to the actual generator itself to notify you of that and to the ATS.
At which point you're back out there.
Well, I wouldn't be back out there because I've already installed it and everything's been commissioned. At that point, it'd be whoever they have for the maintenance of it. Because again, I get it all working. And then the maintenance of it, I don't have the equipment or the means and methods to make that happen.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Anybody? All right, well, looks like I'd like to request a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve, given the change in verbiage from whatever it was to inspection and testing.
Inspections
Inspection
or
or testing.
Okay, so we have a motion made by Commissioner Davis, seconded by Commissioner Jarvie, and we will call for a vote.
Screens aren't working.
They're not working. Do it oral. I don't know what's going on. All right. We'll have to do it oral. So Commissioner Faber,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarvie? Yes. Vice Chair Davis?
Aye.
Chair Crimmins?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, motion carries 4-0. With the recommended action to adopt a categorical exemption for the project pursuant to 15303 of the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines and adopt resolution PC 2026-01 titled A Resolution of the Planning Commission Approving a Conditional Use Permit to allow replacement of an existing emergency backup generator with a new backup generator containing over 316 gallons of hazardous materials located at 1794 South Baranca Avenue, Glendora, California, file number PLN 25-5028. Move on to the consent calendar. Item on the consent calendar will be enacted by one motion without individual discussion unless a commissioner has requested it be removed for separate discussion. Does anyone wish to comment on item number 4? Seen as none, we will request a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion made by Commissioner Davis, seconded by Commissioner Faber, and we will call for a vote.
Do an oral roll call vote since it's still not working. Commissioner Faber?
Yes. Aye.
Commissioner Jarvie? Go ahead, say it in the mic.
Yes.
Vice Chair Davis?
Aye.
And Chair Crimmins?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion carries 4-0. Let's see here. We will now move on to closing comments. Any closing comments from commissioners here this evening? None?
No.
Any closing comments from staff here tonight? Oh, okay. We will go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 7:35.